Hi guys, how are you doing today? Welcome back to Random Lifestyle Vlog. If you're new here, my name is Paulina and today I'm going to answer your questions. So here's the thing, I have the list of the questions here and many of these questions are quite similar, so I am not going to be reading all of these questions. I might just rephrase them sometimes. I might group them in like certain topics and give you answers like that. I might still read some of them, but I hope I don't miss any of your questions and I'll be able to answer them all. So without further ado, let's just jump right in and start. Okay, so we're going to start with some questions about advent calendars. I mean, it was that time when we asked you to leave your questions. So some of these questions are about advent calendars, but I don't really mind talking about it now, so let's do that. My favorite advent calendar in 2024, that is pretty easy. That was Harrods and Space NK. I think they were both really good. Harrods was very luxurious but quite skincare heavy, and Space NK on the other hand had a lot of variety. So both of these calendars were brilliant, and I also really liked the fragrance advent calendars I bought. Like all of them were really good. If you could make your own advent calendar, what would be in it? So I guess if I were to create my dream advent calendar, like something I'll be like really proud of, something I would like to receive myself, I guess it would contain some lovely makeup, and that would be a nice eyeshadow palette, like 100%. I love getting eyeshadow palettes in advent calendars, and I think whenever you're getting a luxurious advent calendar, you kind of almost expect that. Other than that, a mascara, I'm sure that's something that's always useful. A nice lipstick maybe, some sort of like cheek products like blush or highlighter or both. I don't think I would want another eyeliner. I mean, we have these everywhere, but maybe a lip liner that would actually match the lipstick that we've got as well. That would be lovely. There's kind of like a lipstick, a lip liner duo. So yeah, that would be my makeup part. Then obviously a lovely candle, like 100%. A couple of fragrance minis, but I would prefer to have something that's a little bit more unique, not those fragrances that we receive in calendars like all the time. So either some new releases or some kind of like niche unpopular brands maybe. A few hair items, not too many though. I don't really like when calendars are too hair care heavy, so a nice shampoo conditioner duo and maybe another one or two products like a hair treatment and maybe like a dry shampoo or something like this. I think that will be plenty as far as hair care goes. Oh, some bath products, like that 100%, at least one. So maybe some salt or a bath bomb, that would be pretty cool. And of course some lovely skincare with a lot of variety in terms of sizes, products, brands, and you know, all that, so that we have a little bit of everything. So yeah, I think that would be that. What do you do with all the skincare, makeup and hair care you aren't interested in trying out? I personally gift items to friends and colleagues, and sometimes I sell products I know I really don't like on eBay. Well, it's very similar to what we do. To be honest, all the occasions like birthdays, Christmas and whatever, like we have the gifts sorted. So that's quite helpful. We don't really have to think too much about it. Alright, so that's that. Now we're moving on to skincare, makeup and fragrances. And here I got many questions about my top 5 of each category. And you know what? I think this actually requires a separate video or separate videos to be more exact. I think I'm going to do a couple of videos like that with my top fragrances in each like fragrance category, some of my favorite makeup items. I am pretty sure I have backups of all my favorite products, so that should be doable. And same story with makeup. So many of these questions are going to be answered in separate videos, but there are still some questions here I'm able to answer in today's video. So what are your favorite skincare brands? Easy, that's Medik8 and Sunday Riley. I absolutely love these. I mean, don't get me wrong, there are plenty of skincare brands I like or love even, but these two, it's like 100% success rate. Like everything I tried from these brands is amazing. So yeah, I love these. What mascara would I recommend for short lashes? Yeah, that's a good question. So from the top of my head, I would say Triple Thread Mascara by Iconic London. What else? Bad Gal Bang by Benefit. Cloud Mascara, that one is pretty good. And recently I've actually been using these two mascaras I really like too, and this is FanFest by Benefit again, and Huda Beauty, I think it's One Coat Wow. So yeah, these 5 mascaras from the top of my head, there are more that I really like, but I just can't think of any at this point. If you have like short and straight lashes like I do, it is pretty difficult to find the right mascara, but there are mascaras that work. And you know, I've discovered quite a few of these. So it's not like a lost battle, right? There are some good ones, luckily. Moving on to fragrances, what's my signature scent? Well, there's no such thing really. I just love using different fragrances depending on my mood, depend on the day, the weather, or whatever. Sometimes, or quite often even, I use one fragrance in the morning and then I just use something different in the afternoon or in the evening. So I don't really have one fragrance I use all the time. I have fragrances that I use quite a lot in a certain period of time, but I wouldn't say these are my signature scents. No, I don't think this is the type of scent that people would associate with me, really. So no, I don't really have a signature scent. Okay, what else do we have here? The best male and female fragrances. Well, that one is a little bit difficult to answer because, first of all, I don't really know much about male fragrances. I mean, I know which ones I like, but my knowledge there is not really too extensive, so I can't really answer that question. And as for the second part of this question, well, the fact that I know quite a lot about female fragrances doesn't really make this question easier to answer. The thing is, I don't think there's such thing as the best and the worst fragrance. This is very personal, so I prefer to talk about my favorite fragrances versus like the best fragrances. I think every opinion about fragrance is going to be very personal, and I'm going to talk about my favorite fragrances in the upcoming videos. I'm going to do this best of each category, so I'm going to talk about that a little bit more, but as I said, this is going to be mostly my opinion and it's pretty much as valid as everyone else's. So okay, so we're moving on to more personal questions now, so that's going to be quite interesting. What made you move to the UK and how often do you go back to Poland? Not that often. I mean, this is my answer to the second part of this question. Not that often. I would say like maybe once a year or so. And what made me move to the UK? I mean, it was kind of like by accident. I mean, my plan was to move to Berlin. Like that was my dream. I loved that city and I just wanted to move there. But the issue was it was a bit difficult to to rent something there, like to get an apartment or a flat or whatever. And at the same time, it was not that easy to get a job I wanted in Berlin. So it was a bit difficult. I was trying to figure out my next step. And then my friend who already lived in the UK, she convinced me to come to the UK, spend a year or two working here, maybe just put away some money and then move to Berlin. And that's what I did. It was supposed to be 1 year only. Then after this first year, I decided to stay for 1 more year. And then during the second year, I realized that the UK felt like home for me. I vividly remember one day I was actually flying back from Poland. I landed in the UK and I realized, wow, this is my home now. So yeah, I decided to stay. And then a few years later, I met Rob. So yeah, that's why I'm here. But I never actually really planned to move to the UK, it just happened. Okay, next question. Am I working in beauty and where does my passion comes from? Like honestly, I have no idea. It just happened, and it's not even like I was interested in beauty in my like 20s or something. I just wasn't, and it just happened suddenly. So there's no backstory, there's not much I can tell you about it. It just suddenly happened. And as for the first part of this question, I don't work in beauty industry. No, I do have a regular job. I mean, I actually have my own business, but it's completely unrelated to what I'm doing here, so I like to keep things separate. The only backstory I can give you is that at some point I got into beauty quite a lot. I started buying a lot of boxes and stuff. And then Robert told me, listen, if you are to buy all these products, why don't you start your own YouTube channel? So that's what I did. So yeah, that's the only explanation I can actually give you here. Okay, this question is a little bit longer, so I'm going to read it. I've been wanting to be a YouTuber for about 10 years, but I've always wondered how it's funded, as I would not be able to fund a channel with the money I receive. It's just, I wonder how every YouTuber manages it. So first of all, go for it. Don't overthink it. If you want to do it, just do it. Don't wait. As for the financial situation, this is a difficult question because everyone's a little bit different. Everyone's situation is a little bit different. Of course, there might be people who are financially comfortable, so much so that they can afford throwing money to fund their YouTube channel without even thinking. But I think most people don't start at that point. They start with what they have. And this is what I would recommend doing. Just start with what you have, start with what you know, and just move from there. My friend Fiona recently started her YouTube channel. It's called The Payless Advice. She has very fair skin tone. So she started doing videos about makeup on like very light skin tone, and she's doing really well. So as I mentioned, just start with what you've got, start with what you know, and move from there. And don't compare yourself to other people at that point because you never know their full story. There are people who are already quite big on other social media platforms and they might have a lot of PR products. They might be working in beauty industry and have access to some products for cheaper prices. So you never know. Just do you. Next one, my hobbies. I have so many, really. I love reading books. I read books. If I can't read books, I listen to audiobooks. There's always like something speaking to me like all the time. If I'm not listening to audiobooks, I listen to some YouTube videos. I watch a lot of true crime or listen to a lot of true crime YouTubers. So that's literally like the soundtrack of my life, the true crime stories or like some audiobooks. I love that. I love walking, hiking, traveling. I'm not sure if these are even hobbies, but you know, I really love artsy and crafty things. The only issue here is these things just come and go. I have this whole big drawer unit filled with my past hobbies because this is what I do. I get into something like crafty, like let's say knitting, and I just buy everything. I buy like wool and like books and all sorts of things, and then I just do it for like several months straight. I'm like all about it, and then suddenly I get bored with it. I fell out of love with it, and I put this back and it waits for the next time I'm going to be interested in it. So yeah, these things change quite a lot. Also, like dancing used to be a bit part of my life. I haven't really done that recently, but I feel like I'm almost ready to get back to it, but not quite there yet. So hopefully that'll happen soon. But yeah, I have lots of hobbies. Some of them have been with me my whole life. Some of them just come and go and then come back. Okay, pets. Do I have pets? No. Rob and I absolutely love animals, but to be honest, it's so good not to have to be responsible for like anyone else. And the fact that we can just spontaneously go for like a little trip somewhere, we don't really have to think about who we're going to leave our animals with. This is something that we really appreciate. I think we will both love to have a little dog or a cat, but I think at this point in our life, it's just more reasonable not to. Okay, moving on, favorite part of the year. Here in the UK, it's spring and autumn. I love spring because it starts quite early in the year. It's very, like the days are longer, it's sunny, and it's really nice, okay? It's really pretty. And then autumn, on the other hand, is so colorful. And I'm not only talking about these orange and yellow leaves, I'm mostly talking about Halloween and then the whole preparation for Christmas. And then it's also pretty warm and sunny as well. So yeah, here in the UK, these two seasons are my favorite. I am not a massive fan of British summer. No offense to anyone who likes it, but I honestly don't think this is much of a summer anyway. It's just not that warm. It's quite rainy, cloudy, and I'm not impressed, okay? And as far as winter goes, I'm generally not a massive fan of winter. I only like winter in mountains when there's like snow and it's like nice and cozy. So yeah, that's the best part. In Poland though, my two favorite parts of the year will be spring and summer. Spring, the same reasons as in the UK. Longer days, warmer, a lot of sun. Brilliant. And then summer in Poland is actually pretty warm and sunny, so that's why I like it. The autumn in Poland though, that one's pretty bad, okay? It's grey and gloomy and rainy and windy, cold, and we don't really have Halloween. We don't really celebrate Halloween. We have Wszystkie Święte, which is like the worst holiday ever, at least for me. So yeah, not great, no. Talking about parts of the year and holidays, my favorite holiday, Christmas. I just love anything Christmas related. I'm actually so lucky to be doing this channel and be in this Christmas mood from like September. I don't mind it. I actually quite love it. There are people who complain about that. They think that, you know, extending this Christmas period for like more months make it lose its kind of like charm. I don't see it like that. I don't mind this Christmas vibe from September on. Like August, that's a little bit too early because it's still summer. September, I'm fine. Okay, I can actually see another Christmas related question here. Christmas tradition. What Christmas tradition do I have? Rob and I spend Christmas either in Poland or in the UK. We alternate. So when we are in Poland, we do spend Christmas the Polish way. Here in the UK, we spend Christmas the British way with Rob's family. So in Poland, I don't think my family is particularly traditional, so we don't really have many specific traditions. All those things I'm going to mention are probably quite well known to most people who live in like continental Europe. So we do celebrate on the Christmas Eve. We have this massive dinner. In Poland, traditionally, we don't meet on that day, so it's mostly like fish and some like pierogi and cabbage with mushrooms and all things like that. So we have this massive feast, and we have gifts after the dinner. And then we have this kind of like a second day of Christmas. We don't have Boxing Day. We don't go shopping on the 26th. I would say the Christmas day is about like spending the time with family. We have a nice breakfast in the morning, then some nice dinner and everything. It's all about like seeing your family. And then on the following day, we would probably see either more distant family, like extended family, or friends. No shopping on that day, 100%, like all the shops are closed. So that's how it looks in Poland. And whenever we spend Christmas in the UK, it's very British. So you do celebrate Christmas on the Christmas day. So we just open our like stockings in the morning, then presents, have like a nice dinner, very kind of like chilled day of eating a lot of cheese, drinking some Baileys and that kind of thing. So yeah, as I said, not many of those like specific traditions. I don't think my family is particularly traditional. Rob's family, same situation. So yeah, that's pretty much that. Okay, what's next? My arm tattoo. Is there a story behind it? No, there's not. There's not really. Like, honestly, my tattoos, and I do have quite a lot of tattoos, but these are things I consider pretty. So, you know, I liked it and I wanted to have this kind of like pattern on my body. There's really no meaning to... I don't think there's any meaning to like any of the tattoos I've got on me. I wish there was. Like, it's always so cool to have a little story or like a background or whatever to what's on your body. Like, for me, this is pretty boring. I just thought it looked cool, so I had it done. So yeah, sorry for that. That's just not particularly entertaining, but it is what it is. Oh, okay, this is an interesting question. If you could reinvent yourself right now, your private life, your work life, your city, what would you change and what would you not give up for anything in the world? Well, to be honest, I actually really like my life the way it is now. So I don't think I would like to change anything in the past. I mean, of course, there are like some regrets. There are things I regret doing or not doing. That's pretty normal. But the thing is, I'm not sure if I would want to change anything because I don't know what the outcome would be in the end. So I don't think I would really want to change anything that led me to this place now. And as far as my current situation is concerned, there are definitely things I want to be more focused on. For example, I want to do more face yoga. I want to work on my wardrobe to kind of like, I don't really want to have like a capsule wardrobe, but I definitely want to reduce the number of clothes I've got and kind of like only keep the clothes that suit me, like 100%. So there are many things I would like to work on now, but that's more like my plans, and I don't think it would require like reinventing my life properly. It's just something I want to achieve in the upcoming months. So yes, there are some goals that I have, there are some things I want to achieve, but there's nothing I would like to change that's kind of like beyond my reach at this point, if that makes sense. So I'm not sure if that answers your question, but I think the bottom line here is that I wouldn't really want to be in a different place at this point of my life. I think I'm good where I am and I only want to move like forward from here. So yeah, okay, I think it's a wrap. I think I answered all your questions, at least I hope so. I hope I didn't miss any, but if that happens, then I'm going to answer that question in my next Q&A sometime in the future. For now, I'll make sure to answer some more of your questions in the upcoming videos. We're going to do some top product in each category videos 100%. There are some more content ideas we've got from you last year, so I'm going to make sure to provide these videos for you as well. We also had some ideas as to the Christmas content. I'll make sure to use these ideas in Christmas season 2025 100%. And yeah, I think that's everything from me. So thank you very much for watching. For more beauty related content, check these videos over here. I'm going to see you very soon. Take care. Bye.